Hey guys, it's Vernie here. Another Tuesday, another Vault video. This is War Within Season 3, Week 7, and we've expanded a little bit. Not only did we get a lot done on the Shaman, but we also started playing the Mage some in our eventual possible transition to DPS. We still have 6 healers on the roster, so we kind of have been getting benched a lot, except for the buff anchors like the Monk, the Druid. So I have not seen as much play as I wanted. And I think to change that, I would have a better shot as a DPS in like a critical role. So we're kind of messing around with Mage and Shaman, just seeing how that goes. My Evoker and Priest are fairly geared. They're both like above 710, missing like 1 or 2 pieces each, but at the tail end of the gearing cycle. So I've kind of transitioned to other things that I think might have a future slot. Anyway, I logged into the Paladin first. We did re-clear last week. I was only in for a couple mythic bosses, so I think we'll only have 1 myth raid slot, probably 2 heroic raid slots, and then we did a full batch of dungeons, so 3 dungeon slots. At this point, I don't think there's anything from dungeons that we really care about as holy. I think from raid we're looking for the antenna. Antenna would be pretty solid. Tier legs. We crafted some gloves, so we don't really need those. It's kind of just legs or boots from Soul Hunters. Myth boots would be nice. We have a Ret weapon. Do we need anything, really? Like, as Ret. Pacemaker, I guess? Maybe I'll just go Prot for the off chance that, like, Pacemaker or, Tome of Light's Devotion or a Prot myth weapon. Because I don't need anything wholly specific. So we'll go ahead and go Prot and just see. If anything, we'll take a socket. We definitely still need a socket. Okay. Hero Prot weapon. Heroic Brand. That's kind of interesting. Oh, Myth Legs. Look at that. And a Myth Prot weapon. Myth Shield. We already have a Myth Shield. Incorporeal Warp Claw. I don't think this trinket is super good. Let's just look. I mean, actually, why am I even looking? I know it's not going to be good, and even if it is okay, no way I'm taking it over Myth Pants, right? It's actually, like, okay in AoE. I'd still rather use Pacemaker and Brand. I think we're just taking the legs. I do believe we still have a Catalyst charge. Yes, we do. So we'll take the legs. We'll fully upgrade them. That's our last Myth Raid slot, or tier slot, which is kind of surprising because we haven't been given any gear in Raid from Mythic. I think we got the shield. The shield was the one piece we were given. Everything else we've crafted or looted from the vault. So honestly, this character has had some pretty good vaults. It's really hard to complain. Means I did waste some crests last week upgrading this to 710. I mean, it's 15 crests. This is, I think, we might have 2 more weeks of Gilded before we're capped out. We'll probably craft like a ring or a neck if we need, but other than that, we're kind of finished. This character is basically done. And unfortunately, it seems like we're not going to see any playtime on the end of Salad Bar or Dimensius, so I care about that character a little bit less. Which sucks, because I've enjoyed Holy Paladin, and I do enjoy healing, but with 6 healers on the roster, and, half of those slots being buff anchors, there's not a lot of opportunity there. And, frankly, sitting sucks. Sitting for extended periods sucks. Alright, the Evoker, we're 7-11. We did get a ring last week, so that was nice. I think we picked up Ritual Forge from the Vault, which is pretty freaking good for dev, so we're happy with that. We have 3 crafted pieces. I think we have a Spark available this week because we didn't craft last week. Yep, so we actually can get some 720. Probably Jewelry. I think our tier slots are locked in. We only did 1 dungeon, so we're kind of hoping for tier. Tier that's not chest. Chest or gloves. So we were hoping for, legs, shoulders, helm. Those are the big pieces. We'll go ahead and open as dev. Nothing preservation specific that we need. See what we can get. Ooh, boots. It's either boots or 2 tokens. 2 tokens gets us nothing because we don't have any tokens to begin with. Boots, we would prefer to have the Soul Hunter boots, but because we're not doing raid, we don't have them. Oh, honestly, I might just take these, just because it is an item level upgrade, and 2 tokens doesn't feel super useful. We're probably not going to spend crests on these. It doesn't feel worth it when I can just use my crest to craft. So we'll take it as a small upgrade. It's nothing amazing. The stats are good for dev. The stats are actually excellent for dev, but yeah, you obviously want the Soul Hunter boots. Unfortunately, I have not been doing alt raids on really any of my characters, which I really should be better about. I've done a lot of keys the last few weeks. I filled vaults out on like 3 or 4 characters, but no raids. And raids are a good source of those cantrip items. Very specific weapons, like the Void Core, any of the weird like Void Crystal. I know there's caster weapons with the Void Core that give you a 2-set that buffs it. You have the Ring from Dimensius. Obviously, you have BIS trinkets like the Antenna or the Ritual Forge that you can only get from raid, so doing raid is definitely advantageous for you. It's pretty big in the vault. Now, the Priest, I think we came in for one night on the Priest because our Holy Priest was missing, so we are saved to Mythic. We didn't kill any bosses, so I don't think we'll have any raid lockout, any raid slots. Yeah, it looks like we did do some salad bar pulls. I actually completely forgot about that. We did do 4 dungeons, so we'll have 2 dungeon slots. Looking for Helm or Shoulders, most likely. I guess I would take a really good trinket. We did take the Parapodia, right? Yeah, we've got that. So we've got that for Shadow and Disc. It's not good for Holy, but maybe like a Mythic Soleas would be interesting. Mostly looking at tier pieces. Okay, Myth Crystal and a one-hander. The one-hand is interesting because then we could craft an offhand and adjust embellishments, but that's not really critical. That's only important if you're trying to get, like, the raid cantrip weapon with a Void Core, which I won't be doing on this character. I think Crystal is pretty good. Let's look at it for Shadow as well, just because we do play some Shadow, not a lot of Shadow. It's, like, very mid for Shadow. What would I be swapping out? Soleas? It is better than Soleas. I mean, I guess we just take it. We can't take a socket because we don't have any tokens, so... Double Myth Trinket on the Priest. Pretty interesting. It's my first character with double Myth Trinkets. Situationally, but very solid. So we're pretty happy with that. Okay, and the 2 newbie characters. So the Shaman, we did some delves on, and then we did like 10 or 12 dungeons. So we'll have a full row of Myth dungeon slots, 1 hero slot from delves. I think we ended at like 705. We're kind of banking crest because we didn't want to spend crest to craft something and then get something sick from the vault. So it kind of depends what we're getting here. If we get something good, we'll craft in the pieces that we're missing. I think the big piece we're missing is gloves. Yeah, gloves are terrible. We'd love to replace last season's gloves. I'd also take a helm with good stats. I think the helm is going to be the off piece. So ideally we would get gloves, and then we could spend, some of our 150 gilded crest to craft a helm, and that would give us a 720 here, then, a 723 here. Obviously, there are some good trinkets. I think the Ecodome trinket is extremely good. I know that people are using the Mastery trinket. What is it called? Lily, I think. The Parapodia is also good, so either of the Ecodome trinkets would be solid. Signet is decent, because you can line it up with Ascendance. But I think, the biggest piece, gloves. We'd also take a myth trinket or myth tier in our other tier slots. Ideally, we won't see a weapon because we've already got a weapon and we crafted an offhand for Ascension. Let's see what we get. 3 real slots and then the 1 fake delve slot. Okay. Man. Not exciting, dude. So a belt? I think the Myth belt outpaces the Delve one. In theory, I could take this. The boots, again, you really want the raid boots. These stats are like, okay. It is a hero to Myth upgrade. And a shield, we really can't take it because that's our embellishment is locked there. And again, boots. Or do we take a socket? I mean, I think we're taking the belt. Man, that's lame. That is so lame. Okay, well, if my fucking internet will load. Be pretty sick if it just crapped out right here. Just looking up Ellie Shaman stuff. I don't know when they replace the belt. Okay, Wowhead is going slow as shit. And yes, we're using Wowhead because we're not mega familiar with Elemental Shaman. We've played it 1 week. I've been pugging as Resto because it's way easier to get groups, but I think ultimately we would like to have this character be Elemental and just mess around with that as a possible DPS option. I have mained it before. I mained it in Dragonflight for, a tier and a half. I liked it a lot. It was fun. It still seems fun. Yeah, so you would stop using it. It said at 717. So I could get this and upgrade it. I mean, I think that's better than the boots option. The boots option we would 100% replace with raid boots if we got them. Even heroic raid boots. So I think we take the belt. It's not really inspiring. We still need to farm out gloves. I think the majority of this week will be spent in Ecodome on both the mage and the shaman to try and get trinkets and the last pieces of gear that we need. But I mean, we're 705. Our gear is fine. For a week of playing. And we didn't even get raid funneled. This is like just us playing and crafting stuff. At this point, if you're coming in on a fresh character, you have four sparks, so potentially 4 crafted items. And I think the cap is what? Is it above 600 gilded, or is it 540? It's either 540 or 630, I'm not sure. Either way, it's a lot of gilded. You could spam out tens of dungeons and upgrade feasibly everything. Now the shaman is done, so we're onto the mage, last character. We did do a full normal clear. I think we did like a normal sale with the guild, just to say, because they needed a mage buff, and I was like, fine, I'll go. This character is in dire need of a lot of pieces. We did a bunch of dungeon runs. We're only going to have 2 myth dungeon slots and 1 hero dungeon slot. Hopefully something good in the myth slot. We have not crafted anything. We're sitting on 200 gilded, 130 ruined almost. I mean, we have veteran chest. We have crafted wrists. We have adventurer gloves. Last season's heroic or normal pants. Our gear is terrible. Our gear is awful. So really anything is an upgrade. I really don't want to see helm. I don't want to see shoulders. Those would be the smallest pieces. I think we did 20-something dungeons last week, and we seriously looted belt, one hand, neck, and helm every single time. I think out of the 20 dungeons, I looted 2 upgrades. So the mage is in dire need of help. We could really use anything. Dude, it's like this game hears what I'm saying and just tries to fuck me over. I mean, I want to take this myth with a socket, but I can't. It's a 62 item level upgrade here. Also, normal chest and normal gloves. Oh, how many? We do have 3 catalyst charges. I mean, I think we have to take the legs to get closer to 4 set. It sucks not taking a myth piece, but the belt we're not replacing. And the helm would be, we would lose avoidance, we would gain a socket, and we would go from hero to myth. It's very minor. This character is character's cursed. So I think we're taking the legs and we're just going to catalyze them. I don't love it, but it is 60 plus item levels, so pretty decent. Would have preferred that be the myth slot, but that's what you get for not doing all 10s. What does that put us at? 692. Okay. I mean, this week we'll be above 700. You know, we have 4 sparks, so I think we'll just craft a weapon. And then... or an offhand, potentially. Do I craft a two-hander or an offhand? That's a conversation for later. Anyway, that's going to be it from us this week. Feel free to check us out, twitch.tv/Veronix. We will most likely be streaming at least Tuesday through Thursday. Kind of depends on if we're in the raid or not. It looks like we're not going to be, so... I would expect to stream tonight, probably Thursday. We'll see the rest of the week. But hope you guys have good luck on your vaults, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.